Hey guys, and welcome to more March Motivation where we are making ATCs today, and I'm excited about this one. It's going to be super fun. I'm going to use some scrap paper and do some stamping real quick, and I'm using the stamp set called Stuck on You. I love this stamp set. It's super fun, and ATCs are a great place to use it. I'm going to be using this flower pot to start with. Let me find a smaller block. I don't need this big block for that flower pot. I'm going to use the flower pot, and I'm also going to use, I think, this cactus. I need to do a test and see how tall these are. Let me stamp them real quick and see if I'm going to have room for it. And I also want to try to save some paper because I'm going to be fussy cutting these. So some of you guys don't like fussy cutting. That's okay. Use your scan and cut or something like that. But I'm just going to fussy cut them. I think I'll be all right. We'll see. I may decide to use my scan and cut, but we'll see. All right, I'm going to stamp this little guy here, like so. And then I'm going to stamp this little guy in the pot because I want to color it as well. But if I'm going to use my scan and cut, I've learned something. I want to cut them out before I color them if I'm going to. That's going to fit on an ATC just fine. All right, so there's one. So I'm just going to run down here and do several of these. Matter of fact, I think I'll make 10 ATCs. Or 10, no, I'm not going to make 10 of these. I'll tell you why. These are a little more detailed. I think I'm going to make 4 of these. 10 would take me a lot longer, so I'm going to make 4. That's what I have time for today. So, and you would probably just make 1. I mean, unless you're making a bunch. We're going to just make 4 of these today. You'll see why. I'm doing something a little different. This is totally Pinterest inspired. I saw a picture on Pinterest of a cactus used similar to this, and I thought this is perfect for what I want. Did you see me almost drop that? Woo. Okay, so there are my cactus, and I don't like the way that one's stamped. I'm going to redo it. You don't have to be this picky. I would totally normally let that go, but I just kind of don't want it to have that big hump there, especially the way I'm going to color these. All right, so let's get that one. I can't get over the top, so, oh, much better. Much better. Okay, now what I'm going to do, since I'm only doing 4, I'm going to fussy cut these by hand. Am I going to fussy cut them by hand? Oh, I think so. So I just got me a few of my Nuvo markers, and I'm just going to do a little bit of coloring here. I might shade, I might not. A lot of times what I do is I start out thinking I'm going to shade, and then I end up not shading. And you know what I just realized? I totally used the wrong ink for this. So, do I restamp or do I keep going? Now, I tell you guys all the time to not use your VersaFine with your alcohol markers. And I bet you'll see why. There it goes. It is starting to smear. As long as I don't cross over that ink too bad, I'll be all right. You guys said you like when I leave my bloopers in, so here is one. Because I would normally redo this, but I don't think I'm going to redo it. I'm going to see how it goes. If it smears too much on this first one, it's not doing too bad. But in a minute, here's the thing about this. I know you're thinking, oh, it's not smearing at all. But the longer this alcohol sits near that pigment, the more it will smear. I should have paid attention, but I didn't think about it. I think I'm going to let it ride. The way I'm doing these anyway, they're going to look pretty distressed. So I really am probably going to be okay with this. All right, let's do a little shading. Again, a lot of times I'll start out with good intentions of shading. Then I won't like the way it looks, and I'll just color the whole thing in. Anybody else do that, or is it just me? And I'm going to try not to over blend or over shade. I tend to do that as well. I kind of want some of those little lines to show because of the way I'm doing this ATC. I'm going to kind of leave it like that. I want it to look distressed, rustic. I don't know. Pick your word. All right, I'm going to keep going. Kind of the same thing I just did there. Now I'm going to do it in this cactus up here. This is where, if I'm going to have some bleed on that ink, this is probably where I will. And some of you guys tell me that you use VersaFine for your alcohol coloring anyway. Some of you guys don't have trouble with the bleed. The more alcohol in the marker, the more they bleed, I've noticed. See, like I got a little bleed right there when I rubbed across that. It'll carry it down. But again, because of the way I'm doing this particular ATC, that actually will kind of look good. Do you think I'm just telling myself that? I promise I'm not. When you see how it goes, when you see what I'm going to do, it'll make sense. All right, I'm going to keep coloring 4 of these guys. Oh, you can really see it blurring right there. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's really starting to blur. I'm also trying not to overwork this color. Do you see how I'm just really leaving it, how's the word? I find that I sometimes try to over blend. I don't need to blend them perfectly, but I find that by doing this, laying this color down like this and kind of leaving that not perfectly blended look, it actually looks more shaded than how it usually looks whenever I overwork it. You know, I'm not an alcohol marker colorer. Like, I don't do this very well. I actually don't want to move on because I want that to stay kind of wet. So I'm finding that kind of leaving it kind of broken like this, kind of having this big distance of light color versus dark, actually looks better to me. And I've noticed when I look at other people's coloring and I think, oh, you color so good, and I pay attention, a lot of times they do the same thing. Their colors aren't perfectly blended. They leave kind of darker, really darker on the edges. And it really seems to help. See how that looks so bright? That's what I'm talking about. So not perfectly blending, not trying to get the lines to go away into each other, just kind of hitting back to that edge and leaving that center as bright as possible. I think it actually looks better. For the little flower, I'm just going to use this bright pink. And part of the reason is because since the ink is going to bleed, since my VersaFine is going to bleed, it'll almost shadow it for me. I know that sounds really bad, but I really don't have room to put any shadowing. And let me show you. See how that's kind of bleeding? It kind of gives it the shadow anyway. You can see how that black's kind of bleeding. It's not great. It's not great, but it's all right. Okay, let's fussy cut. So I'm going to fussy cut, and I'm actually going to fussy cut these little nibs off here because it won't matter. You'll see when I get done, it will not make a difference. It'll still look very much like a cactus. Okay, so I got my cactus all, my cacti all fussy cut. I'm going to sit those to the side. Now, I told you this is straight Pinterest inspired. I went out to Pinterest and I looked up ATCs, and this was a picture that I thought, oh, this is cute. I want to try it. So I'm going to measure on this here piece of cardboard. This is just regular old cardboard. I'm going to measure 2.5 by 3.5. I'm going to cut my ATCs from this. So if I go here, that's 2. Oh, I can get 3 from here. I thought I could only get 2. All right, so there's that. And then I need to measure in 3.5 inches, which is right here. So these are going to be very rustic. This is why I didn't really care too much how the color went. I'll show you in just a second. So I also am not too worried about this marker. You'll see why. Let's try to get it kind of straight. This is just a box lid, by the way. I just went out into our storeroom and found a box that was getting ready to be broken down. And I cut a lid off of it. So here's 3 of them. And I just need 1 more. So remember, an ATC is 2.5 by 3.5. So there's 2.5. Just go in and trace that down. This is 3.5. I just need 1, so I'll just do it like this. So I want the ends to be pretty distressed, the edges. I think I do. I want to see how they cut, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to cut these with my big old shears. About as far as I can go that way. Let's go this way. You could put this on your paper trimmer and cut the top layer and then come back and cut the bottom layer. But this seems to be working pretty well. Oh, this is much easier when you go with the grain. 1. So these are my 4 ATCs for my cacti. I got to get used to that. So here's what I'm going to do. The one I saw on Pinterest, they had taken the cardstock or the cardboard like this, and they came in and they tore away some of the front. So I'm going to separate that, and I'm going to tear this first layer off, and then I'm going to come in and try to get some more off of there. I don't want to tear all the way down. I just want some of it exposed kind of here at the top. I'm really kind of copying. I'm being inspired by. I love the way they did the cardboard on the ones that they had done. And cardboard just looks perfect with the cactus. It was really cute. So just going to tear some of this away. And I want this side to kind of go down further. Ooh, that looks good. You know, the thing about tearing is you got to know when to stop. And I tend to not know when to stop. I tend to either go too much or too little. So I'm just going to look and let that be like that. And the cactus is going to kind of live. Oh, look how cute that is on there. Kind of live like that. So let's do the other ones. I'm kind of tempted to do some around the edges here, but we'll see. We'll come back to that. All right, I'm going to stick this in here. Get that top layer. Might be better if I kind of work it while I'm doing that. Oh, I love how that one looks. That's a great one. All right, let's do another one. Not as cute as that one. Let's try to get some of this one off. Oh, I like that. Ooh, okay. Got a little crazy on that one. That's okay. We'll leave it like that. Let's do this one. I kind of like that one. I'm going to stop there. I can always tear more. Okay. I do like the way the edges look on this one. I think I'm going to come back and see if I can take a little more of these edges off without getting all of it. Something Brenda taught me about tearing paper is if you don't want it to tear in a specific place, put your finger right past where you want it to tear, like right past where you're trying to get it to tear, and it kind of stops it. It's not working the same here. Let me get that going. That's sturdy cardboard. Okay. So if you kind of put your finger back here behind it, see how I did that? Yeah, I like that piece like that. All right, so this will be a better example. Put my finger behind it and kind of hold it and just work it all the way down. Then it doesn't tear all off. It just tears kind of in the direction you're going with your finger. Look at this dude. Hadn't had this one out in a long time. This is my classic distress ink, my vintage photo. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to vintage nasty dirty this up, right? So I'm going to just rub this all over, a lot on the edges, but I want some of that raised area to show too. Even some of this part where it's kind of torn away, I want some of that to be really noticeable as well. You guys, Brenda would be really proud of these. When she sees these, she's going to really like them and go, I'm so proud that you ripped and tore and used cardboard. So there's one. Look how good that looks. I love that. Let's do another one. Okay, guys, I made a right mess on my work surface. Guess what it's time for? A little Brian O'Shaughnessy. Let's vacuum. Now, I'm just going to glue these little guys down. Let's see where I want them to go. Put a little glue back here. I'm not going to glue the very edges because I want them to kind of lift up a little bit. So I'm going to glue this one something like this. Isn't that super cute on there? I think it is so cute. These are going to be my favorite. I don't know. I'm liking a lot of them that I'm doing. They're super fun. ATCs are a lot more fun than you might imagine. Especially if you've never done them before, you need to try them because it's really, really fun. And I'm putting these kind of where the solid cardstock is. You see I moved that one over here because that way it'll stick down better. So I have this little hexagon punch in my stash. And I have an idea. I'm going to cut out 4 of these for to put my little sentiment on. I think these will be cute in the top corner. And the sentiment I'm going to use is from the same stamp set, and it says looking sharp. And I'm going to stamp it just like this. Look at that. That'll be so cute. Look, I got one that's stamped different, but it won't matter. Okay, now I'm going to glue these guys in the top corner up here. So I'm going to run some glue across so that it'll catch where I place it down. Look at that. That is so stinking cute. It looks like a lot more work than it is too. I mean, adorable. Looking sharp, dude. That's what I wish it said, dude. I might need to add that. That's so cute. Oh, good. Since this one's a little different, I'm going to put it on this side over here. I mean, those are cute. Okay, let me go ahead and do the backers for them. So my name goes here, and I need 4 of them. So if you're not familiar, ATCs are like little works of art, and you actually date them and name them and title them and number them. And I don't know what today's date is. Oh, it's the 18th. I had to think for a second. Okay, and the title of this is going to be Looking Sharp. And it's going to be number 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4, and 4 of 4. And mine were made in Alabama. Now, if you want this PDF so you can use it as well, it is in the blog post that is linked below. And you'll need to scroll down. We're adding all of these to the same blog post, all of the ATCs that I'm doing. So you'll need to scroll down a little bit to see any new updates or any new pieces like that we're doing. So just be sure to read the entire blog post. There's a couple of printables included there in case you might be interested. So here are my 4 little ATCs, and they all have their little backers on them. And while I've got them here, I'm going to take some crystal glaze. I love this stuff. And I'm going to crystal glaze at least the flower to make it have a little shimmery shine. I think that'll be cute to add a little something. And I may even add some dots here and there. Just for a little something extra. 3 little dots down here. There you go. That is my ATCs for today. Only 4, but still pretty good. And these actually wouldn't take long to make a whole bunch of these. And I want to encourage you to do kind of this same thing, but use your stickers. What if you have a whole bunch of sticker sheets that you could do this with? That would be totally cute. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, and we're going to continue. We still have several more of these videos. I've also been adding them to a playlist for you guys, so if you want to see from the beginning all of the ones that I've done, you can go to the playlist. And if you're making ATCs, I want to see them. Head over to our website, which is MaymayMadeIt.com, and share your creations with us. We want to see them on our customer gallery. Hey, thanks so much, guys. Talk to you again tomorrow for even more. All right, bye-bye.